Dearest friends, welcome to the sanctuary of truth. Welcome to the place where whispers turn into clarity and doubt dissolves in daylight. You are on Whispers of Turkish Stars. Today is one of those rare, luminous days we will remember for a long time, a day when the clouds finally parted and warmth returned after weeks of uncertainty. If your heart has been heavy with the cold rumors swirling around our beloved couple, Gökberk and Özge, prepare to exhale a breath you've been holding, the kind that settles the soul. We are not dealing with anonymous chatter or shadowy claims. We are talking about an intervention that feels final, anchored, and impossible to dismiss. A figure who matters stepped forward to defend love itself, and his words have shifted the ground beneath this story. Before we unfold every detail of what happened, join our family here at Whispers of Turkish Stars. If you believe in love that grows stronger under pressure, tap like. If you want to be first when truth speaks up, subscribe. And for those who wish to help us keep the lights bright and the facts verified, the join button opens the door to exclusive content lovingly crafted for you. Ready to feel this right along with us? Let's begin. To grasp the magnitude of today's moment, we have to rewind and steep ourselves in the tense mood that's colored the past few weeks. You've seen it, timelines and glossy spreads drowning in a storm of invented drama meant to break the rhythm between Gökberk and the radiant Özge. Tales of runaway jealousy. Rumblings of insurmountable work stress. Headlines humming about a split that felt certain or secretly done. Each morning seemed to invite a fresh proclamation of doom, and each one tugged at millions of admirers who only wanted to see kindness win. The narrative grew poisonous. It suggested their careers had become a wall between them, that ambition had somehow eclipsed affection, that misunderstanding had triumphed over tenderness. We at Whispers of Turkish Stars kept our balance as best we could, but we won't pretend the barrage was easy to shrug off. Even the most hopeful hearts can tremble when the noise gets that loud. We worried that under constant pressure a crack might form where none had existed. What we overlooked was the quiet strength that only deep roots possess. And just when the sky seemed darkest, the light appeared not from a stage or a premiere, but from something far more intimate, the warmth of home. The hero of today does not live beneath spotlights, he's no performer reading someone else's lines. He is a man who has chosen discretion all his life, guarding his privacy with dignity and steady grace. We're speaking about Gökberk's father. A dignified, soft-spoken patriarch of another school, he watches in silence most days. But threaten his son's happiness, or cast a shadow upon the woman his son loves, and he steps forward with the sure courage of someone who knows what matters. Tired of seeing fiction polished and paraded as fact, tired of his family's name tossed around like a headline toy, he decided to break his long silence. He did it without rage, but with a firm, affectionate resolve that left cynics with nowhere to stand. In an exclusive heart-to-heart, granted for one reason only, to end the circus, he gave the kind of testimony that hums with truth. With the voice of a man who does not play with words, he said, "I've heard too many things that do not match reality, and I can't watch this nonsense continue. I know my son's heart. Gökberk would never walk away from Özge. She is the missing piece of his soul. Think about that. Not girlfriend, not partner tossed out casually. He used a language of spirit. In a culture where respect for parents runs through the veins of daily life, a father saying such words matters more than a fleet of PR statements. It's a benediction. It lifts the love from rumor into something revered. But he didn't stop there. He wanted to settle any whispers suggesting friction within the family. He spoke of Özge with the kind of affection that makes rooms warmer. Özge is not simply someone in Gökberk's life, he said gently. To us, she is already a daughter. She is kind, thoughtful, and generous, and my son loves her with his whole being. In one breath, he closed the door on gossip that painted them as divided. Calling her a daughter is no small thing. It's not just letting her cross the threshold, it's inviting her to stay in the heart of the home. Then he added something simple and wise, like any two people who are building a life, they have small challenges. But their love is larger than any stumble. In a world obsessed with faultless images, admitting that growth includes friction is the most honest thing he could have said. Real love isn't polished to a shine, it's sturdy because of what it survives. The moment that may have moved us most was a small story he shared, a picture from his own backyard that no camera could have captured. He had watched them just days earlier. The late sun was laying gold across leaves, and the garden was quiet. There were no stylists, no red carpets, only two people sitting side by side. I saw them holding hands, talking about where they're going, he remembered, and even in his voice we could hear the smile. There was a light in their eyes that you can't manufacture. They didn't just look at each other, they rested in each other. At that moment I knew, nothing and no one can pull them apart. It reads like a poem, doesn't it? A private scene, as sacred as any vow. Not a pose for a magazine, but two souls at ease, choosing one another again. Naturally, after words of that weight, cameras rushed to find Gökberk. They caught him as he stepped out from a set, spent from long hours, but when they told him what his father had said, everything in his face changed. The witnesses swear his eyes shone, emotion breaking across him like dawn. He smiled wide enough to light the block and confirmed it all. My father is my compass, he told the microphones, voice warm and unsteady with feeling. No one on this earth knows me better. If he says I won't leave Özge, believe him, it is the plain truth. Özge is my fate and my shelter. Don't feed the rumors. We are happy, and we are together. Shelter. The place you run when the world grows loud, where your chest unclenches and you remember who you are. To say she is that to him is to put love on record with devastating clarity. And what did Özge say? Our queen of quiet elegance did not hide behind courtesy. Shortly afterward, she appeared with a glow that needed no explanation. To be embraced by your beloved's family, to be called a daughter, is a treasure beyond trinkets and trends. With her signature composure, she answered, the support of Gökberk's family is the most precious thing to me. His father is a wise, kind man, and I respect him deeply. His words gave me strength. What binds us cannot be broken. Note the certainty there. Not a fragile hope, but a pledge. With that, she honored both love and the tradition that holds families close. But the story didn't close with interviews. Our sources tell us that after the swell of emotion, Gökberk and Özge gathered the family for an intimate dinner to thank his father. Imagine it, a table layered with dishes that taste like memory, laughter rising and falling like a favorite song, embraces that do more than any speech could. The air felt charged, they say, not with tension but with relief, the sweetness of having weathered a storm and found stillness again. And when the moment was right, rumor has it that Gökberk stood, lifted his glass, and looked directly at the man who had defended their love when it mattered. Thank you, Dad, he said, voice steady and eyes bright, for reminding the world who we are and how I love this woman. It was not a toast to victory over enemies, but to truth winning out over noise. What does this teach us, dear friends of Whispers of Turkish Stars? It reminds us to doubt the sensational when it contradicts the steady. It teaches that love built with intention can stand in rough weather. Gökberk and Özge showed us, once again, that they are more than beautiful faces in beautiful pictures. They are people, building, choosing, growing, supported by a family that stands like a spine of steel. The father's presence in this story has given us all the anchor we needed. Now, finally, we can breathe. The tabloids that try to wedge them apart will have to pull back and face their own echoes. Gökberk will not leave Özge, and Özge will not leave Gökberk. As a father said, I know his heart. And that heart beats in rhythm with hers. Tell us how you feel after hearing this. Did the weight in your chest lift? Did a bit of faith return? Has his father's courage inspired you, as it inspired us? We want to hear it. The comments are open for your joy, your relief, your stories of love that didn't break when pushed. And remember, it's our shared values that make this community glow. If you want to support the kind of storytelling that protects love and honors truth, the join button is your best path. With your help, we keep the falsehoods at bay and bring you the carefully confirmed updates you deserve. Don't forget to ring the bell as well. In the coming days, we expect new photographs and gentle glimpses of their everyday life, maybe a quiet getaway, maybe a coffee run with fingers intertwined, the kinds of simple moments that prove the biggest points. This day doesn't just burnish their image, it strengthens the Demirci Zagai's family in the making. They are not just a screen romance, they are a circle of people who show up for each other. That is what counts when spotlights dim. Looking ahead, the horizon for Gökberk and Özge is clear and bright. With a father's blessing and a crowd of hearts standing behind them, the path looks steady. Perhaps that garden talk hinted at plans: a ceremony, a home shaded by trees, rooms full of books and soft laughter. Whatever they decide, you can feel it will be laid on rock and not on sand. We at Whispers of Turkish Stars will be right here, sharing every new step of this journey with you. And now, as we reach the close of a story that feels like a win, let's savor it. Love kept its footing. Truth spoke up. And the Demirci Zagai's family, in all its tenderness and strength, stands together. If this filled you with the kind of hope that carries you through a week, hit like. Share this with the friends who needed a reminder that devotion still exists. Subscribe so we can celebrate the next happy chapter side by side. Thank you for being here for this moment. From our hearts to yours, Whispers of Turkish Stars says good night, and until the next story, keep believing in the kind of love that holds fast.